Good morning, everyone. I hope everybody, good morning, good morning, good morning. I hope everyone is doing well. It is another beautiful day here. I am just going to be doing a quick little update here, real quick, just to give everybody a nice little um, analysis of what's going on in the market, as well as kind of go over some of the stuff that kind of happened this weekend so we can see what's going on. The biggest thing is this is that the correlation that is still currently happening with the traditional markets that we're seeing are really interesting within the crypto markets. Um, I don't know how long it's going to be correlating with it, but it is really interesting to see that we are kind of tracking with the traditional markets, and it's really fun because the reality is this is that it does bring some validity. I mean, to the actual ecosystem. Like it shows that that the institutions are involved, that they are looking at us, and that they're trading us kind of very similar um, to them. So it's very interesting to see what's actually going on. Um, I'm going to kind of go over some of the stuff that we were doing today, or that I was looking at today, and just kind of see where things are going. I was also looking at a few of AI stuff that is coming out, um, quantum quantum computing, and maybe the futures of that, what we could be seeing in the near future. I actually went to a meeting yesterday. It was a meetup online with a bunch of traders, and there were multiple engineer guys, and a few of them actually worked for um, the inner parts of the government for like AI and things like that. So that was another interesting conversation. I might have one of them one day come on here with us and talk with us, just simply because it is pretty cool what we have going on. In additionally to that, um, the we like I said, I'm going to be doing this on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. And I even might even do it every day. I've been considering maybe showing my face here and kind of letting people know what we're doing as well. Kind of excited about that, just simply because I think primarily because uh, maybe showing my face is just to kind of help the. I heard that the Facebook algorithm really helps, and the reason why I'm doing this is I want to draw attention to Moonrock, what Moonrock is doing, and so it's just some of the things that I'm really considering. So you guys might actually see my face here, um, and that's gonna be fun. Going to be real fun. I don't know. We'll see if you guys will. You'll be like, "Oh no, what is that? Oh my goodness! It's hideous." Just joking. Anyways, so enough about that. Let's go ahead and go right into the markets, and I can actually show you guys some stuff and some of the stuff that I've been checking out. So now I'm looking at the S&P 500. I'm let's go here to the daily chart here. Or where is this? This might be the 4 hour. Yeah, so it looks like this is a 4 hour chart here that I was doing. So we kind of hit my area here. Like I said, the 200 period moving average was in conjunction with this area. So it looks like we came through the zone, and then we hit the 200 period moving average. Like I said, this will probably be a turning point, but we are trending off of this 8, which looks pretty strong. So we'll see if the 8 holds. We did kind of go through it. So we'll find out what happens. We are putting a little topping pattern here. If you were to look at the 8 hour. Unfortunately, I cannot pull the 8 hour here. Um, and it's actually very frustrating to me. But the idea is just real simple: is that I, I I think this very much could turn around just simply because we really have no support coming in. We don't have anything trending up except for the 8. So the next possible bounce that we could see a turnaround is the 38.28, or excuse me, 38.23 area on the SP 500. If we do come down, if we do push through the S&P 500 through this area, we should see us come back into this area right in this direction that I was talking about. That I do the line up in this area. Like I said, when it comes to trading, I try not to call the market. I let the market call me, right? It lets me know what it wants to do, and I trade it on what it wants to do. I typically look for higher highs, higher lows, moving averages, and just basically wicks and directions, which way it wants to communicate with me. So, I almost look at like it's it's like a child, a human being. A human being will tell you, whether a woman, especially women, they'll tell you through nonverbal communication a lot of times. Many of you may know that, your wives will communicate with you through nonverbal cues, right? And so if you can understand your wife through those nonverbal cues, you can do a pretty good job when it comes to the market. And vice versa, children, men, sometimes we very much communicate in nonverbal cues. So it's something just to be able to pay attention to. So you can see here, we are having higher highs and higher lows. We are having the SMAs moving in our direction. So be paying attention here. Like I said, these are some of the junctional points that I'm looking at. Let's check out now the NASDAQ here real quick. Primarily, excuse me. Here we are, the NASDAQ. This is where we want to go. Come on. And let's see what's going to go on here. Don't you love it when your computer doesn't want to listen to you? Let's just have a wait for just a second. And just give me one moment, guys. I'm going to be back in just a second. Like I said, I'm sorry about that. Let me go ahead and jump right back in here real quick. Reload the site. Let's see what happens. Hopefully this will work. Now, again, one of the things that I always like to point out within the markets is that the markets are in a state right now that, I think from a long-term view, I'm always kind of bullish, just simply because people are always looking to buy the markets. But we are in a short-term bear market. Cryptocurrency is definitely looks like it's in crypto winter. Like I said, one thing about we know with crypto is it can easily tell you not. So I always let people know, look, you trade the chart. You don't trade your opinion, right? You're never married to a position. You're always dating a position, especially when it comes to day trading, right? Never sit there and hold. In addition to that, if you're looking to build your own strategies, you want to back test them and make sure you have at least a 51.1% win ratio and edge when it comes to going through and setting up your own rules. Jumping back here again, let's go check out the NASDAQ. We can see the NASDAQ playing some really interesting things. Here we go. Yeah, so right here, I believe was either the daily or weekly. Yeah, here we go. This was the 8 moving average, or let's check the daily here real quick. Yeah, so this was the weekly moving average right here when we were looking at it from last week. So you can see here that we definitely played off of it. And now we're going to see on this Monday if we're going to come back down, or are we going to play around along this 8 weekly moving average. It's something that you do need to be mindful about, just simply because the weekly SMAs, the weekly zones are extremely strong. And so when you have a reaction off of that, you'll never see the market just blow through a weekly SMA majority of the times, or the monthly SMAs. It's very, very rare. Very rare. So I always start the week off with looking and marking where your SMAs are sitting. And I'm gonna put this purple here just to remind myself. There you go, self. Here we are. All right, so it's just very important to always be paying attention to that. So let's go here through the daily, checking out the daily. We are in this area right here. We do also have a supply zone in this area right here, so make sure you guys are paying attention here. We do have the daily 20, so it looks like we are in between these two simple moving averages here. We could be playing maybe some ping pong here for maybe a day or two, and then it'll communicate with us what it wants to do. Let's look at the 4 hour here. 4 hour chart is looking a little bit different. We can see here that we are starting to press through the 8 moving average here, and looks like we are kind of retesting. So we did pierce it. Let's see if we continue down or continue up. Okay, guys, but it's something to be paying attention to. Looks like we do also have a slippy slide all the way down. We could see this thing come back down to probably down to the 11,400 area. It's definitely one of those things that you do need to be paying attention to, just simply because it very much could switch on it. Also, I want to read this real quick as a disclaimer. There is no investment advice. This information provided on this video and website. Give me 1 second. And live stream does not constitute as investment advice, financial advice, trading advice, and or any other sort of advice, and should not treat any of the video websites content as such. Meme Chain Capital and or Moonrock do not recommend that any cryptocurrency or any other assets that are mentioned should be bought, sold, held by the viewer or listener. Do conduct your own due diligence and consult your financial advisor before making any investment decision. I am not a financial advisor. Please consult a tax professional on any gains or losses as a result of investing into crypto or any assets invested in. This is not financial advice, but it is for entertainment and social educational purposes. All right, guys, now we got that out of the way. Let's go to move forward here real quick. So we can see here that we are starting to push through. We'll see what happens here. If this 8's going to hold, that's going to be cool. Now, if we jump to Bitcoin here, you guys will see a very similar look. Okay, you can see here that we did hit it here, but like I said, it's going to be very interesting to see if we start to pull away from what Bitcoin is doing compared, because it's been following the NASDAQ. So you guys can actually see here in live time that we are starting to follow here a little. We did bounce off of that weekly 8 moving average here. Oh, wow, it's not there. We're all the way up here on that weekly on Bitcoin. And so something to be paying attention to. Let's go ahead and mark this area here. 1 second. We're going to put a little red line right here, a nice little red line right here. It looks so pretty, doesn't it? I had a friend of mine who once told me, "Oh, I like the colors of your chart. They're really pretty." I started laughing. I was like, these are money making charts. They're not pretty. She goes, "It looks like Christmas lights." I was like, all right, whatever. So I started cracking up. But hey, it does look pretty. So nice little pretty red lines right here. This is the weekly thing. We want to make sure that we let myself know. So I'm going to make that a 3. Just to let myself know, hey, look at this. This is a number 3 here on the weekly. Number 3 line, and it means weekly zones. Then let's go ahead and check out now, go a little bit in detail here. Now you can see here, what happened to my, here we go. Where was it at? Right here. So I'm going to mark off right here real quick. This also little, this has a 1 more here. So we do have a couple zones to pay attention to this. We could bounce off of this and play around in this area. So if we look right here, we are still playing off of this 17,400 mark area. Something that we're going to see some consolidation. Are they going to accumulate here? They being the institutions. And then are they going to allow this to stay here for months? Or is this going to rally back up? It's very interesting to see what they're going to do. I could only imagine they're looking to really gauge and play off of this. Nice little area right here. Put a little green right here. This boom. Another one right here. Also, let me pull this up. So this is one of those things that you need to be paying attention here, simply because if we do come down into this area right here, the 19,374 to the 19,145 or 45, we very much, I want you guys to pay attention because we very much could blow through this, but this is a 4-hour zone and it is in a 8-hour transitional area. So it's something you need to be paying because this is multiple time larger time frame SMAs or larger time frame larger time frame zones. Wow, it was really hard for me to say. So it's something to pay attention to. So if we have a good reaction and we see a bullish candle off of this, it might something you might want to consider going long. And you want to, like I said, you want to go long on that 5 minute, and you want to be looking for some type of trending SMA in which it is using for support. Whether you use exponential moving averages, whether you use simple moving average or smooth moving averages, you want to make sure that you find some type of trending higher highs, higher lows, and SMA that is following, that is trending off of or bouncing off of, so that you can assist yourself and kind of be able to gauge your stop loss or however you want to play that. Now, let's go ahead and jump back into here to the 2-hour for Bitcoin. We are seeing some, not much stability, but we are seeing a little holding point off of the 100 period moving average and between the 89 and 100. So it's one of those things that we could see it moving. And additionally to that, we do see though a nice little down mark that we could see it maybe even going down, like I said, to these areas. So be paying attention to these junctional points. But I could see us maybe moving down even further from here. But be looking, be mindful of these areas. Let's go to the 30-minute. Yeah, it's looking. This is, like I said, I'm gonna mark this as I'm gonna do a little dash, meaning that this isn't this most strongest area, but this is an area that could very much break. I use these when you see me put a large line, I look at these areas as strong. When you see me put the medium size, saying very much you need to be paying attention to it, but it very much can break. When I put a zone of a smaller dots, that also means it's just really weak, but it's on a higher time frame. So I do need to pay attention to it. So something that I'm looking for. So something that I look to gauge what I'm going to be doing off of that. We are on the 15-minute. Did get above the A and looking to push up. Let's go ahead and go through now to Ethereum. Oh, one last thing. Let's check out Bitcoin longs. See what's going on with the full ecosystem here. Bitcoin longs, and looks like we are having a little bit of a sell-off off of Bitcoin. Wow, that's been a bit. It's been just screaming up. So let's check it out here. Let's check it out here on the daily. There we go. We're starting to have a little bit of a sell-off on the Bitcoin longs, guys. Like I said, this has been just such a bullish market. You can see here, guys, that we've just been screaming up. I mean, literally screaming up since the initial drop of Bitcoin that we saw back in April, mid-April. We saw, the big sell-off within crypto. And so we're starting to see, actually not much, but enough to where we have broken the 8 moving average here. And so let's see if it comes back down. If we do start to see more of the people selling off on their position, which I really doubt, but we'll find out what happens. If people do start selling off, we could see another leg down here. And I'll point out the next leg down here in a minute. Let's check out now the shorts for Bitcoin now, which is interesting. We don't have a lot of longs coming in, but we do have actually short stepping in. So that's really, really interesting, right? Is that people aren't necessarily, people are more, again, this is more of a bullish sentiment, right? Or sentiment, whereas it's definitely, people aren't really selling off their Bitcoin, but people are more would rather short it, right? So they can play both sides. And so as it drops down, people will be able to short it and then gain an income. And I bet you what they'll do is just add on to their positions. So that's very interesting. And like from a shorting standpoint, this thing could go down to, I mean, realistically, and if you do trade this is tradable on TradingView. You can this thing could probably come back down to the 925 area. I could see that, just simply because everything else is kind of non-existent here. So there's a small little spot right here, and that's just pretty much it. What I'm looking at. Boom. Let's go ahead and mark this. Boom. Actually, this is probably correct here. This is probably not going to be the strongest, but we'll find out. I'm going to mark this even a little deeper here. It is on the daily, so I do need to pay attention to that. Something to pay attention to, guys. So if this thing does see a nice little sell-off, I don't really see these holding. Yeah, that long push off of this is, and we are seeing sellers step in here, guys. We're seeing seller wicks, so it's going to be interesting to see what happens. We very much could be seeing one of the next leg downs kind of position itself. So we'll find out what happens here. And we are seeing a decorrelation of, or almost detaching from the NASDAQ, whereas the NASDAQ is pushing a little bit up, as we were noticing here. Like you can see this here, whereas on the Bitcoin here, it definitely is not looking like this. Is definitely lower here. So on Bitcoin, I would definitely be mindful here that we are, I don't want to say decoupling, because we'll find out what happens. But we are showing a little bit. We're seeing weakness step in. It's not showing as high, and the strength isn't necessarily there. So we'll find out if they continue it. Give me 1 second. Let me change this out here real quick. Nice little zone right here as well. So it's real interesting. So here we go. And we came to this area. So what did it bounce off of? What zone did we see this thing come off of? Boom. Nope. Looks like we're really under the influence of the 200 period moving average, which is the daily 20. So yeah, we're definitely seeing, we're seeing some weakness definitely step in. Whereas we were having higher highs here, now we're seeing a little bit of a sell-off. We did put in a higher high here, but we then had a sell-off, and then we put in a lower high. Now we're lower low. So if we get below this area here, I could see it's, like I said, bouncing off of this area, but not sure it's going to hold. So make sure we're keen on that, guys. Let's check out ETH here real quick. ETH is looking very similar to what we saw within Bitcoin. Bitcoin is, like I said, kind of holding here, or not holding, but kind of showing some weakness here. We do have the 8 moving average that we have on both of them, and I'll show you guys here real quick. Bitcoin, we are kind of holding off of this 8 moving average. It is showing some support. We don't really see it trending. It's not starting to trend yet. I don't see a strong push up, but we could see it push through this. So it's in the same avenue as when you look at ETH. It is kind of showing very similar movements. So again, I could see ping ponging happening here with the Ethereum. In addition to that, boom. Let's put in some zones here. Okay, so you can see that we hit this zone. We did push through it, but we don't really have a lot of seller stuff until we get our buyer wicks, until we get down to this area here. So let's go and place in the respective color. 36. There we go. Okay, so this looks like a fairly good point. Let's check out our weekly chart here real quick. See what's going on. Now, here you guys go. So you can see here that we're fighting with that 200 moving average on the weekly. Like I said, this is a beast. I'm shocked that I did not keep. Here we go. I'm going to make it the color in which it is. Oh, this is that weekly 200 period moving average. Be paying attention to this, guys. We'll see what happens here, but this is, like I said, this is a doozy. This will punch in the face, and it will be a nice. This is a Mike Tyson punch right here. So it ain't. It's not a softie, but it is holding. Now let's check out our weekly zones area here. You can see here that we did bounce off of this area here. And it did hold. So you guys can see, this right here. Let's go ahead and duplicate this right here. Clone it. There we go. Looking nice. Looking nice. Boom. One more. Let's check out ETH. So this is, we're starting to see a nice little bounce off here. So let's see if this is able to hold. This will look good here. That's pretty much it. Let's check out XRP here real quick. XRP is, again, we are seeing a little bounce off of this area here. It looks like it did go through it, but is this going to now become resistance? So it's something that we do need to be paying attention to. Go to the daily here. Are we going to hold this area? You can see we hit this area, bounced off, went up a little, but then it's looking like it might become resistance. So it's going to put a little resistance line up in this place here. Remove this. Remove. Here we go. All right, guys, here we go. Now I'm gonna break off here for a few minutes here, just simply because I gotta handle something real quick. And I will then go into a couple of the other ones: Solana, Ethos, Litecoin, and a few of the other ones that I brought on. But these are just some of the stuff that we're looking at. We want to be paying attention to right here as we look at XRP. XRP is getting if they're able to pass this law, or not, if they win this lawsuit, guys, it is going to be revolutionary for cryptocurrency. So we'll find out what's going to happen with them. Be very interesting here. These are just some of the areas we want to pay attention to. We could see a ping pong area. We are seeing a crossover here. Many of you guys know when you have a crossover, typically to what direction price is at, we'll see either an upwards or downward movement. in that case, if we do see a movement up, we want to be paying attention to the 50 moving average here because it is in this zone. So we could see it definitely a strong trajectory down off of this area. So we'll find out what happens here. But I will be back in just a few minutes and we'll see what happens. I'm going to put let's see what happens here. Give me 1 second. Yeah, this is not wanting to work. This is great. Come on. There we go. Here we are. There we are. Yep. Here we go. All righty. Okay. So I'm just checking this. I just want to check out my actual live stream here and see what was going on with it real quick. I'm getting feedback of people saying that you guys can't hear me, which then I'm also able to hear myself. So that's interesting. All righty. So if you guys will like and subscribe to me, check us out. Also, we got some cool stuff coming up here. We're going to start having some really great guests coming in, talking about the markets. People who've been in the markets for 20, 30 years, who've been trading, professional traders, just to give you some really good information. But give me, I'm gonna pause away for about 30 minutes, guys. I'm gonna leave this in here, and then I will be back, and we will discuss also other commodities like poultry, some stuff like aluminum, other things that in which does turn and change the markets. Keep when it comes to lean hog and a couple other things where you grocery guys. Right now we got 4th of July coming up. And it looks like we're not gonna have it's not gonna be, you're not gonna be able to buy as much of the stuff that you need. So, but I will talk to you guys soon. I'm going to put a 30 minutes to an hour. I'm gonna put a 30-minute mark on this here real quick, and then be back. Give me 1 second. Here we go. Let's put a timer. I used to have this. What is that called? There we are, online. We'll put it here for 45 minutes. I'll leave the music on if you guys want to hang out. And when I come back on, that'll be great. Here we go. We'll set this for 45 minutes. And then I will be back, guys. Thank you so much for checking us out. And I will be here. There we go. All right, we'll see you guys in a few. All right, guys, sorry about that. I had to go handle something real quick, so I apologize about the interruption. Let me go ahead and jump back on here real quick, kind of explain what I'm doing here. So, as you guys can see here, let me go ahead. We were talking about, I believe, XRP. So XRP is definitely bouncing off of this moving average. And when you look at the weekly chart here, what we were pointing out was that we have a weekly 8 moving average sitting right in the zone. We can sit here and see this. It is pretty nice. I'm moving right here. Let's try one more time. Let's go ahead. There we are. And we're gonna name this. We're gonna change the color here to purple and number 3, just to signify that this is the 8 moving average for us. So if we do see the market rally back up in this area, we know that it is in a supply zone, which is a weekly supply zone sitting right here. I had something to be paying attention to as well. Let's go ahead and mark this here real quick as a weekly. Here we are. Four two 42865. 42865. It's close enough. All right, so we got a nice little area here. These are our zones. We're going to be seeing, maybe we're going to see a ping pong action here, or we might see it turn around and blow through and continue down for the next leg on Bitcoin, if Bitcoin does have another leg. And I wanted to go over that here real quick. So the junctional points of Bitcoin. So I believe that when we're considering the next, we definitely bounced off of this area right here, which I was talking about is a significant area, just simply because we do have, there are some significant buyers. You can sit there and see, because this was selling off hard and then it did bounce back. I was hoping that we would see a higher push up on Bitcoin, maybe into the 25,000s, which makes me a little bit bearish, simply because we didn't see a higher push. But the week is not over yet. This is an indecision candle, as we can definitely see right here, the doji. So we very much could be seeing this playing in between on the weekly chart here. So be paying attention to us bouncing back and forth on the demand wick as well as the supply wick. The back and forth arrow, it could be a very unique. So if I'm not good at playing when we're in a zone or when we're in a sideways pattern, so I typically wait for a breakout in that section. But you could play the daily candles in between this area, right, from last week. So I can, one of the ways that I do is I will look at the weekly. But like I said, I typically don't play this. But what the person could do is play right here. And then we could play the bottom right here. And just go through and play off of these zones, right? When you see a seller wick, buyer wick coming into these areas, something for you to play off of, right? We see that this very much could be the zone area that we stay in between, maybe for this week, right? And then breaking through throughout the week. But we don't know. It all depends on what the market really what it wants to do. So that's just something that we're doing. And additionally to that, we do have a demand zone in this area right here, making sure that you guys understand that this I almost feel like this is kind of like right here and right here is kind of the line in the sand here. If this breaks, we are definitely coming down to that 10,000 mark, look to see typically a break of the resistance, a retracement into the area, and then a sell back, then a sell off of that. I mean, we could see, like we saw the Bitcoin long and shorts, definitely, like we're definitely seeing short step in, and pushing up. Actually, let's go back and look at that. As I'm looking at that, I was just thinking to myself, fully gauge it. I was quickly kind of going over this. Okay, so we're seeing here that Bitcoin shorts are dropping. So if this is happening and Bitcoin shorts are dropping, it's definitely a bullish sentiment, simply because that means that the shorts out of the market, that people are taking off their shorts, and so pressure of it going down is lessening. So we're having the steam peter out of the kettle here. So as this drops, if we see this drop down to this area, it's going to be really interesting to see what the volume's going to do. Are we going to see a rally within Bitcoin? We very much could. That's why I was expecting us to put some stuff in. So we'll see what happens as the week progresses. Are shorts going to pull out of the market and then see a laxing of pressure to the downside, hence causing even some pressure to the upside? They will need institutions to be buying that, simply because we're in the institutional world now. So it's gonna be really interesting to see what happens there. In additionally to that, I would also engage to be paying, or I would make sure that you guys are paying attention to the longs, simply because if we start to also see a sell-off of the longs, right, then that is a sign to me that maybe they're just taking profit for something. So I don't know if they're just taking profit for going short where they were long, where they were kind of doing a straddle. I don't know. We'll see what happens to how that works. So like I said, all this is new territory, especially with cryptocurrency. Let's check out, like I said, here's Ethereum. This is the Ethereum shorts and the Ethereum longs. As you guys can see, the Ethereum shorts have been lessening off now. So we're definitely seeing some type of less pressure to the downside to Ethereum. So, if you guys haven't bought much of Ethereum yet, I'd even, get a couple $100. Again, this is not financial advice. I'm not telling you what to do. But I mean, I know that I have been looking to be getting in at a level where once I start to see the buy pressure starting to come into shorts, what I'm saying? That's one of the things that we could be looking. So short pressure is, it might be pushing up here, might not be pushing up. So we'll see what happens with it. Here are the shorts, here are the longs here. Definitely seeing people buy Bitcoin instead of shorting it. They are definitely buying. Definitely buying Ethereum here. So it's gonna be very interesting to see what we see coming here in the near future. Is it gonna break through these areas here and start climbing back up? Find out. But we know Ethereum is at a really low price and it is looking really good. If it does get back up to its all-time high, you're gonna see a nice pay, because a lot of people did get a lot of Ethereum at these low levels. So hopefully you guys took advantage of that. Now let's check out Ethereum fully. We are seeing, like I said, this down market, then retracement back up. As we know that throughout this market here, as we were seeing the sell-off, people were definitely buying into the sell-off. And we know that because we were just looking at Ethereum longs. So it's really interesting to see what we're seeing on the buy side or the sell side. Like I said, we also were looking that the sellers on or the shorters on Ethereum for the shorts are definitely starting to pick back up. So we're seeing this rally up. So it's going to be really interesting to see if we see sellers step in and short harder. So let me jump here real quick. Here we go. So if we start to see the seller step in even harder and push it up even more, it's going to be really interesting to see what's going on. Let's go ahead and go into BNB here real quick. BNB is a really interesting thing. You can see here on the daily last week that we hit our zone. I believe this was a 4-hour zone that we were looking at. So we came up, we tested it. We did not break through it. We did go through the moving averages on the 4-hour, and it looks like we are starting to trend down here. So with that said, we could see a buy area in this area right here. Let's look at this. Let's check out the volume. Where are we sitting here? All right. There we go. So this area right here, pay attention to, guys. We could see this thing come all the way down to here and then turn around. The 50 moving average also is another thing to be paying attention to as well. So we want to pay attention to that. Make sure that we are not clueless to the zone. So yeah, guys, we got a nice little trend down here. We do have some stopping points along the way though, so make sure you're accustomed to this here. Let's check out Solana. Solana is looking pretty nice here. Now, what is this one right here? Is this the previous high that I have marked? Got it. So this is a previous resistance level that became support, and now then it bounced and it pushed through, and now we're starting to find support on it again. So something you want to be paying attention to, guys, right here. We did hit the 50 moving average, or excuse me, the 8 moving average on the weekly. So make sure that you're paying attention to that, guys. Like I said, always go to that weekly chart. And also check the monthly, right? Go through, look at the monthly, see if any of these SMAs are seen in your way or helping support your position. So right here, we can see that the market is definitely sitting in this junctional point. I do like it, where it's sitting at, simply because it's in a zone area, and that zone area can be a very let's go ahead and move that here real quick. That zone area here, it looks like it's a fairly good, strong one. We can see that we came up, we tested it, and sold off on it. So make sure that you guys are paying attention to that. I'm gonna put this as the purple 3. 1 second. Here we go. All right, guys. Pardon me for a second. All right. Now that we're looking at this again, where is this at? Why? Oh, there it is. Okay, so we are on the daily. We are trending on that 8. So we need to pay attention. You can see here that how we hit it here, we hit it here, and now it's moving off of it as well. So it's something that you want to consider when you are trading this, because we have not pierced this yet. I guess we pierced it down here in these areas, but this is when it was finding support. So we very much could. This is a critical area on Solana. Solana, just simply because if we do pierce this, we're gonna see it. We could see this sell off to the 34 area here and find a little bit of support. But if this does not hold, the next junctional point, actually, yeah, this would be really the area that we would need to see it hold, because from this moment on, from the from this junctional point here, guys, after this, we have gonna have a slippery slide down here until we get to this $18 mark area here. So it's kind of got to hold this area. It's got to hold this 30 area. If we don't hold this 30 area, it looks like it could slip down to this 18. Again, if we also have another sell-off of Bitcoin, this will only push us even more and even exacerbate the push down, and we could even see it come down to, like I said, the $10 mark. So make sure you're paying attention to this area here. Let's move that. Excellent. Okay, now let's check out CRO here. Now, CRO's been really performing, I think, fairly well. It's had a huge sell-off like all the rest of the other coins, like 90%. But just simply put, it is above this 8 moving average, and we did pierce this 20 period moving average. So we are seeing some buyers step in. Now, not much, obviously, because we can sit here and see it down here, but enough to where it is putting in those higher highs and higher lows. The last 2 days we did on Saturday and Sunday, or excuse me, Sunday and today, Monday, we did see kind of a sideways action right here. So we'll see what happens. Are we going to find support on this 8 moving average and see it push up? Or is this going to come back down to the through this $11 mark? Come on. Or excuse me, not $11, 11 cent mark area here. Real quick. Now, here it is. The other one. All right, now Solana. Let's check out ADA here real quick as well. Actually, let me finish off here. Let's look at our weekly chart. Now, our 8 moving average is all the way up here. So it's something to show that we do have some area to push up here on your daily moving, on your daily movements until we hit some real resistance. In additionally to that, we've got a kind of this slippery slide up here that is very much keen on where it could go. So make sure you guys are paying attention to this area here, because we very much could see this baby run up. So if you are short on CRO, be careful, guys, just simply because if you're playing the perpetual futures or other things like that where you can actually short it, make sure that you guys are paying attention to this. But you can see here that you've got a pretty good run up here on that weekly chart. Like again, right here is previous support, now come resistance. So make sure you guys also understand that. Let's go ahead and check out the daily here real quick. Like I said, the daily is pretty similar to the weekly. We got a run up to here. We got some buyers down in this area here. So make sure if it does come down to this area, like I said, dollar cost average, check out, make sure that it is, that you're looking at where you need to look by the movement. Because if you're not looking at this buy area and we come down to and we see a big buyer wick that comes up and comes back in above the 8 moving average, that's how these are areas where you can, like I said, look to take advantage of price movement. Then let's go ahead and check out now Matic, good old Poly here. Poly here. This is our weekly zone that we marked out. It's really weird how sometimes it saves some and then sometimes it doesn't save others. So I don't understand why that is. Go figure. Maybe it's just me. Now you guys can see here that we did bounce off this 50 moving average here. And over the weekend, we did not go above this price point here. which is, what price point is that? I mean, they almost to a T. The high here was low high 62.74, 62.63, 62.68. Hey guys, it held pretty strong here. So this is something that you want to be paying attention to. This is a pretty hard, strong. Plus, you definitely do have 3 candles here, which is kind of screaming to me that this is looking to maybe sell off again even further for Polygon. So we very much could see this come back down to the 38, 35 through to the 32, 30, 31 area. If these do not hold, then the next junctional point that I could truly see us moving down to is, I mean, 29 area, 28 area. And after that, I mean, then it's new territory, and we'll find out what happens there. But it's a really unique situation. It's a unique situation out here. Very unique situation. It's not precarious, but it's unique. Very unique. Boom, it's my East Coast accent there. It's I forget the guy's name. He was on a casino. Ah man, it's Pesci. It's a Pesci. Hey, you over there? Do I make you laugh? Do I make you laugh? You know, if anybody knows what I'm talking about out there, you guys know. If you know, you know. It's an old movie. Good movie. Good movie. All right, so you can see here what's going on. Let's go to this. All right. So this is our daily chart here, and what it looks like to me for this is 32 area here. I think we already hit this area. Give me 1 second. Come on. There we are. Come on. This 31 area mark area is, I don't know. Yeah, here we go. This is right above. So this actually hit it to a T. So yeah, this is kind of the line in the sand here until we find new lows. Yeah, good old Matic. Matic doesn't hold on this one. It's gonna be painful. And I could see this coming down even further to create a new lows. I'll have to check this. Let me check out CoinMarketCap here real quick on Matic. Polygon. to TradingView here real quick. Hopefully TradingView gives us the even further on. Whoa, and I don't even know where that's coming from. Oh yes, that's what it would be. It's this baby here. There we are. Whew. That was a little nerve-wracking. I was wondering, where is that coming from? So yeah, the next spot that I can truly see that's going to maybe stop it. Let's check out that daily here. We're gonna move. We're gonna put the ray in for the horizontal. Apologize about that. I just sneezed and I want to sneeze in your guys' ear. Let's check this out here real quick. All right, guys. So this is the low here that I was looking at. Now, next spot is this area right here. But even then, I have to do deep analysis on this. I don't think that this is going to hold up. So this was the 28, 27 market area. So when I'm looking at this, it very much we could see another sell-off to here. But after this, the next line in the sand is down at the 8-cent mark area here for matting. From a technical standpoint, this could be another. So from the 28 to the 9-cent area, we could. I just see a little area right here. Right here we go. So this is the 18 to 17 area, or 18 to 17 cent mark area. So these are some areas that you'd be looking for. If we have another leg down with Bitcoin, I'll be paying attention to this stuff because these areas are pretty significant. So I can see it's moving in these areas here, are moving down to these areas for Bitcoin. I'm actually going to place these 28 onto our chart here. So let's go to Polygon. So these are going to be 286. 1 second. I'm going to put this in here real quick. And this is, I would encourage everybody, when you guys do this, go through and make sure that you do put these in, because this can give you an advantage that, if other people aren't looking at these, like, all right, what was it? I forget now. 26. Let's jump back and look at it real quick. 286. So I think I actually marked that area 286. 286. Looks like they're actually at different price points here. Okay. Let's hit the lower points, then we'll hit the lower points. It's gonna be 184. 184. Okay. We'll move this one. $172. So these are, I think these are good areas to be looking for to see where the next price movement could be moving to, guys. Something that you guys need to have a quick analysis of. And then I think the following one here was the 8-cent mark. So it was 94 and 83. 94 and 83. And we'll just do it right here. 94 and 83. There we go. So it'll be 0.94. And then this one right here is going to be 0.93. Alrighty, guys. So these are areas you want to be paying attention to right here. If we do have another leg down, I know these are dramatic movements for the actual movement, but like I said, guys, we know that crypto does move. I mean, if this thing was to get down to 8 cents, I think, I mean, even 18 cents is such a steal for Matic. So pay attention to here, and we'll see what happens. So, all right, guys. So let's check out the next one, which is going to be BNB, our favorite, one of our faves. BNB, BTC, BNB. Oh, did I remove? There it is, BNB. Here we go. BNB USD. I think I already did these guys here. I think we already did BNB here real quick. But just so you guys see, we are in between these moving averages. Let's check out the weekly chart here. We are in supply, so make sure that you guys understand. If you're in supply, you want to make sure you're taking shorts. Shorts will be probably winning over than the longs, but again, make sure you're paying attention to that. And additionally to that, you can see here that we also have some selling point, some sellers stepping in. So if we do sell, these are the areas in which you want to see it come down to, and then play off this area. Yeah, that's pretty much it. There we go. Alrighty. The next area here, let's pull up. Let's check it out on the daily. If we do start to, you can see here that we are finding some support down in this area off of the 4-hour zone that we have here. So we did try to come back down. Now, mind you guys, on the daily, we have that daily 8 sitting right above us in our zone. So this is the 4-hour zone we could play off of. And this is an 8-hour turnover. So make sure you guys are paying attention to this area here. As well as right here, we have a 50 moving average down in our 4-hour zone. So it's something to be mindful of when we do come down here. We could see it come through, bounce off, and push back up, and then come back and retest this 8 or 20. So just make sure you guys are abreast when we do start to move with BNB. All right, next one. The other thing, it's Dogecoin. Elon Musk is doing some good stuff when it comes to Doge. He's really trying to make it his coin that he wants to use. So he's working with their devs there, as well as it's just he's got his hands really far into it, and it's just really interesting. So make sure you guys pay attention to these zones here. Let's check out the weekly. We just hit the 8 moving average. Should have put that up there. There we are. All right, guys. So you can see that we're hitting this, and we had a pretty decent sell-off here. Will this continue over the week? We don't know, but it is one nice slippy slide all the way down. So we'll find out which direction it wants to go. Like I said, on the daily in the midpoint, we do have some crossovers here. So we could see it come down to this area right here and see a rally. So let's go ahead and check out right in this area. See if we can find any lower time frame. Any lower time frame zones that we could be paying attention to. And so I'm putting it in the daily area, and then I just go down and find out, because I can see that we have some big moving averages in this area. So I want to make sure we look to see if there are any 4-hour. No, we do not. We do have some slippery slides here, but we do have something sitting in this area. It is at the night session, not with a lot of volume, but I could see them stopping people out. See right here, we do have quite a bit of buyers sitting in this area here. So I know that let's check out our daily here again. That area right here on the 6-cent mark. I'm inclined to put my zone right here, simply because this looks like a fairly decent area, and also right here. But these have already been eaten by these buyers coming into this buyer area that pushed us up. We had a retest of this right here. So the only retest that we have not had is right in this area. So I'm looking at a fresh zone. I'm looking for fresh zones. So if I can see a correlation between here and here, it's something that I want to get in. I would like it in between the daily moving, or the daily zone that we have right here, but it's more right here. So, this is where you need to be wise in how when the price is coming down into this, you want to wait for buyers to step in. You can't just simply just go willy-nilly. Make sure you're paying attention to the candles, watching hammers and things of that nature, buyer candles, to step in on the smaller time frames when you do get into this. We get into these areas. Here we go. Let me play this off. So all right, so we have that. And this is the 4-hour. We want to change its designation to the intraday. All right, so yeah, make sure you guys are paying attention to this stuff here. This is real important here. Also, this area, pay attention here. A lot of nice little buys. Alrighty, guys, and then we got a few more. Let's check out DOT. Now that's a Dogecoin for us. We see the downside, the upside is sitting and still in the same areas. We'll see what happens. Let's check out. We have that 8 moving average sitting here. We have the 20 moving average up in this area. We have a nice little 4-hour zone up in here, up in here, up in here. So make sure you guys are paying attention to these areas. You can see here that we are hitting that 50 moving average on that daily, and we are putting in a seller wick here. So make sure that you guys understand what's moving here as well. We're putting in a seller type of candle as well. So it's real interesting. It could turn around and come back up, and then we have pierced that 50, but it very much could sell off to these lower areas that I was showing you guys. Let's go ahead now and go into DIA. DIA is not DIA, I apologize. Crypto. DIA, USD, swap. This is not the one I was looking for. Let's go ahead and just move this here real quick. This is the S&P 500. Apologize behind that. This is the ETF, one of the ETFs for the S&P 500. The diamonds. So, not S&P 500. The Dow Jones. I apologize. Yeah, so you guys can see here. Dow Jones is looking like all of them. Lower highs, lower lows, selling off. Every time we hit a higher time from SMA, we typically have that nice little sell-off. So be mindful of that, guys. Next one we can try is TRX Tron. Tron is a really unique one. I know they have that stable coin. The stable coin isn't really the best per se, right? Because I know they it is a algorithmic trading coin, but it's still, make sure you're mindful of that, guys. TRX crypto. There we are. Tron, Tether, the perpetual futures. Let's go to the long and shorts of this. Come on. There we are. I know what's going on. I know why it's not wanting to work. Come on. 1 second. Save. You're going to. Let's try this one more time to see if this is going to work. All right. TRX. We're going to do the perpetual futures. Boom, there we go. And then we're going to do TRX long and short. All right, here we go. All right, so let's check out Tron here real quick. Now the chart is definitely having a lot of movement. We are bouncing off of this 100 period moving average, as you guys can see. It is somewhat holding, but it has definitely pierced the junk out of it. Yeah, I would be mindful of that by looking into this. If this does not hold, because we are putting in a good seller up into the 8 moving average, where it's retracing, and we are starting to have a nice little turnover here. This could come back down, honestly, to Tron. Down into this area here. This is the next, but this did come into this area. It did probably buy up a lot of this demand here. So if this does not hold, I'm looking for us to see the run down into the 1, 2, 3, 2 cent mark. It very much could come down to this 2 cent mark area right here. But it's still, I mean, there's a lot of trading going on here. So I almost feel like it's not, I would almost want to feel as if we're dealing with the market potentially coming down honestly to this junctional point right here. Now, these are big move, guys. Remember, we're gonna have to need the assistance of Bitcoin, right? Like this isn't just going to come down there. But if it comes out that their stable coin isn't working right or something is happening, these are emotional buying points that we could see people step in and get into. So make sure that you're keen on this. But again, just to point out, this area right here has been eaten up by buyers. So right in here, maybe honest the 0.19 area and or the 0.18 area, just simply because but I'm more keen for it to see it holding the 2 cent mark area, just simply because what's going on. And then so let's make sure you guys are focusing on those areas there. If we check the daily mark area, this 200 period moving average coming up, it's not easily going to get through this area here. So it's something that you guys need to make sure you're paying attention to. And let's check out the higher time frame SMAs in this area here. Check it out on that weekly. Do we have any yeah, we do have an SMA sitting in this area, guys. It looks like the 50 moving average. So if we do come back into this area, we rally up, we have that 50 moving average. It's not trending, but it's still there. It's the weekly 50 moving average. You can see when we even came down into these areas every time, we definitely saw a reaction of the market. So you need to make sure that you were paying attention to this area here on that weekly. So we're gonna put a right here, right in the middle. Make this right here. That's that weekly. And with one thing I do like about with TradingView, that TradingView does allow you to put in text. So I'm just going to put weekly here. So make sure you guys are paying attention to this right here when we come into this area, because I can see us definitely having some type of movement, at least on the daily. Then we can come right here to SHIB. Now, SHIB is always a controversial one because everybody has a heart for it. Everybody's bought a lot of SHIB, and everybody wants to see that 1 cent mark. Are we going to see it? I don't know. We'll find out what happens. But I know that is a junctional point that everybody's hoping for. So we'll see what happens. Jumping back to Tron here, I apologize. We can see here that we are coming down into this 50 period moving average. We could bounce off this area and come up to this 400 and 200 junctional point in the market. We do have a lot of sells in this area, so I'm going to actually mark this here. So red. Let's go ahead and put one more right here. We will see what happens, but it is definitely, it's not gonna quickly go through this area. We saw that it hit here, it sold off, so I wonder. We'll see what happens. Make sure you guys, we do have a crossover right here with the 400 and 200 period moving average, and we do see a bunch of seller wicks here. Now let's go ahead and go into the SHIB army. Give it up to the SHIB army. That is one army that is I mean, tough as nails. I still see them all over the internet. I mean, they're there. They're ship, right? And they're handling the business in the midst of this crypto winter. Go ship USA Tether. There we are. Let's check them out here real quick. Now, they're definitely seeing some big rallies here. I know Shibarium is going to be coming out. We're seeing a lot of movements when it comes to that. Find out if they're able to push through this 8 moving average. We did pierce it. Now this is the weekly 8 moving average. So like I said, we don't sit there. It's not a light push, right? We're definitely seeing some fighting going on, but not much. We're seeing some, but we'll see if we're able to push. If this gets through here, the next real junctional point that we're going to see a stop, honestly, is at that 1831 area. So it's pretty cool to think that, 3 weeks ago we were down at 739, almost 716, and now we're almost 300 points above. So we'll see what happens. If this continues up, I would say that we're going to be sitting at the 1900 area probably within 2 weeks, 3 weeks, because this is a nice slide up. So just to encourage everybody, those who are holding, those who are part of the SHIB army, we'll see what happens here. Mark this here real quick. There we go. It's gonna be a weekly. So yeah, I can see this going on. If we do turn around, we'll probably see us go to the 6.2 or 6.82, 6.59 area. So, be mindful, be ready. If it does come down, these are great areas for accumulation, if that is what you so choose to do. Let's look at that daily chart here real quick. Now, you can see here that we did pass the 50 moving average. We are retesting it, but that 8 moving average has yet to be tested. So it's going to be really interesting to see us come and test this. Like I said, on the smaller time frames, you want to see hammers, you want to see bullish candles to let you know that this is going to continue moving up. So, but yeah, you guys can start dollar cost. I think this is a nice area. It's going to be really interesting to see how it moves from here. But yeah, that's it in a nutshell, guys. If you guys have any questions, concerns, just please type them down in the box below in the comments. Please like, subscribe, share me on Facebook, wherever you guys want. And I pray you guys have a blessed day. And I will see you. I might do this again tomorrow just to see what happens. And like I said, I might be showing my face here. I'm trying to bring in a guest tomorrow to see if they will allow. They work with Vetter, and they're really, really good when it comes to, or the Vetter platform. They're really good when it comes to like a fundamental analysis with crypto. They have their whole entire ecosystem of looking at charts. So we'll see what happens. Oh, and then I wanted to, I told you guys we were going to check something else out. I wanted to show you guys some stuff here real quick. 1 second. See if I need to pull it up here. There we are. Just a second later. Sooner, guys, give me 1 second. I was waiting for my computer to decide it wants to work. I don't know if any of you guys ever have that issue. I have quite a bit of stuff happening with it, so I this is my play computer. Alrighty. Go. All right. So I want to show you guys this thing here, so we can sit here and see it's trading economics. You can sit here and see what's going on with many of the commodities that you buy within your daily lives, meaning soy, wheat, lumber. If you're building something, and you can actually go through and check out like rice, oats, wool for clothes, USD, K, um, T, which is basically like, T overall. I don't know the full details of this, but I know that it does track T movement. Um, so I want to pull up a couple things here real quick because corn, I'm going to show you guys here real quick. Corn has been on a tear, right? Like if you guys have noticed, if you guys have been paying attention to the daily charts, it's just been screaming up. And it's a I don't see us coming down anytime soon. I actually, let me put it like this: I don't know if we're gonna come down soon or not. But I could, but if we do, because we had such a boost back in February within corn and just a huge rally up, there are the certain junction points that I can see us stopping. So I want to bring this out here for corn because if corn keeps moving up, like there is no end in sight. There are no supply zones that we can hit. Like so, we're kind of in free flow run land. You can see here that we did put in a higher, almost a higher high. Actually, we do a little bit right here. I apologize, but again, I don't think this is a strong area here because we've already tested it with this, and now we're testing it again. So I'm pretty sure it can push through this area. Over the week so far, since Sunday, you can see here, or excuse me, monthly, since the beginning of the month, we were putting in almost a doji candle. If this continues down, then we could see it then come down to the 500 mark area on the weekly. But still, again, this is one of those things that's just we're in kind of dangerous territory, I feel like. And so I really hope that we don't see this rally even harder because a lot of people are going to be falling on hard times. Let's check out wheat here real quick. And then we'll check out gasoline here. Now, wheat is sitting at this area where we're at a gap. And if we find support here, we could see again rally again up to this 1,300, maybe even 1,500 mark within wheat. So like I said, we're still not out of the jungle. We're not out of where it could go, but we're at the support area though. So we're gonna find out if we're able to sell through this and then see us move and turn on and go back up. So there's still a lot of fundamental stuff that need to happen, like the war in Ukraine. They're one of the primary people who do produce wheat throughout the world. I would encourage, I know that they're trying to get Mexico and a few other nations out there to produce wheat for the world. There are going to be a lot of people that are going to get sick, or not sick, but just basically kind of be hungry because they won't be able to afford, a lot of stuff. So hopefully the humanitarian movement does help when it comes to a lot of people around the world. Let's check out lumber here real quick. Again, lumber here. I was actually expecting lumber to really rally hard. at the beginning of the year. You guys can see that we did push up here at the beginning of the year, or sold up and then we rallied up. But now we've had a nice little sell-off for lumber. We are putting in lower highs. If we do put in a lower low, we see this thing come down here, we could see lumber come back down to the 200 mark versus being at that $1,500 mark. I see us really, I can see us actually finding support right here in this area and then rallying it back up to at least 1,400, but if not above 1,750 as well. So these are just little junction movements that for you guys to be paying attention to. I like this website. It gives you a quick little overview of everything. I'm going to also put it in the comment section for everybody so you guys can go through and look at it. 1 second. One moment. Here it is. Oh, I see I have a comment. Hey, what's up, Josh? How you doing? Here we go. Sorry about that, man. I would have brought you on here for a second. Boom. So I love this website here. It's a nice website. I use it a lot just to give a quick little overview of everything. All right, guys, that's it in a nutshell. Thanks for coming in today. I hope you guys, if you have any questions, if you guys want me to look at any type of cryptocurrency or commodity, we can check them out and see what the charts are telling us. Again, this is not financial advice. This is simply for educational and entertainment purposes. Please consult your local or your own personal tax attorney and or your state or local or country laws in regards to the buying and selling of securities / commodities. Thanks, guys, and have a blessed day.